Hi everyone, my name is Claire Sunderman. I am a student leadership assistant for the Marvin Center for Student Leadership. And today I'm going to be presenting on making the most of virtual meetings. I'll just start that. All right, hopefully you all can hear me decently. Yes. So, again, my name is Claire Sunderman. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a student leadership assistant for the Marvin Center for Student Leadership. So today we're going to be talking about making the most of virtual meetings, and basically what that is how can you get the most out of meeting during the pandemic? So obviously a lot of student organizations can't meet in person right now, which is totally understandable unless you have less than 10 people. So we just had this session just to try to get some ideas from either from me or from other student organizations about how they have been kind of figuring these things out for this time right now. But yeah, so I'm just gonna dive in. So I first wanna talk about setting expectations. So one of the most important things with this is what expectations do you have for your members during virtual meetings? Like, is it okay if they have their cameras off? I know, especially for me, if my camera's off, I'm probably not paying that much attention. I mean, everyone's different. Sometimes, you know, you just woke up in the morning and it's a very early meeting. You don't want people to see your bedhead. That is totally understandable. I don't wake up looking like this. So yeah. So do you have your cameras on or off? Private chat on or off? Or is the chat going to distract your people in your organization, or is it something you can actually utilize? So setting that expectation of, can people privately chat or not? Is being on phones okay? Sometimes, you know, I'm hosting another meeting tonight and I have a Kahoot, so obviously phones are gonna be okay because they have to use their phones to play the Kahoot. So is being on phones okay or not? What about multitasking? I know for me personally, sometimes I pay more attention when I'm doing other things, but is that okay? Do you want someone, you know, shopping on one side and listening to meeting on the other? That's another thing to keep in mind. And then how do you keep members on topic? Are you, having someone take notes? Are you having someone, if you get off track, be like, hey, let's get back on track? Are you having someone who will write down people? They're like, hey, you're not paying attention. Like, can you please come back to attention? Again, with the private chatting, things like that. So these are just some things to keep in mind about when you're setting expectations for those online meetings. And then it's really important to set expectations because you don't want your meetings to go off the wall. You know, most meetings I go to, I want to be there an hour max. Like, I don't want to stay there longer than I have to. So it's important to keep members on track, but also at the same time, have fun with it. You know, these meetings aren't supposed to be, at least for a student organization, a lot of them are supposed to be fun. You join these for fun. So it's important to have those expectations, but at the same time, make sure you are having fun. Great. So Zoom. There's a lot of things you can do with Zoom. Fortunately, I can't show you everything because I'm obviously screen sharing, but there's 4 different things I wanted to talk about just because I think they're the key points to Zoom. So one of the things is breakout rooms. If you don't know what a breakout room is, there's a little, I can't show you on my screen, but you can have your organization go into breakout rooms. You can set as many rooms as you want. So say you are going to split your 20-person organization into 4 groups. And then you have 5 different rooms, or 4 rooms of 5 different people, and you can have them work on different tasks. So if you're all planning different events and you all want to stay in the same meeting, instead of sending out, 4 different Zoom meetings, it'd just be easier to send out the one and then break out into breakout rooms and have everyone else come back after and talk about what they talked about. So that's just something to keep in mind. So it's easier also for members to get to know each other easily and more personally. I know if I was a first year right now and going into a Zoom meeting with 40 other people, it might be very intimidating. So it might be a good idea to just kind of go into breakout rooms, have people get to know each other more one-on-one versus, go down the line of, hi, blah, 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 and have everyone introduce themselves. And it also saves some time. So if you want people to do that little icebreaker and like introduce themselves, instead of having all 40 people go at once, break them up into smaller groups and have them talk to one another and make it go faster. You can also work on smaller tasks together, and also you can also send people into a waiting room. So if you don't want them in your meeting, initially say they, I know for my sorority, for the standard board, if you need to go, they'll have you sit in the waiting room and they'll just pull you into the Zoom meeting when they want you to, because you shouldn't be sitting there the whole time. So that's just another opportunity to use breakout rooms. And then reactions, these can be used in a variety of different ways. I think, let's see if I can get my little, can I do reactions on here? No, I can't. Anyway, so reactions, they have a little like thumbs up, a little heart, a little like smiley face. I think they have a couple of other things. But they can just be used to get a sense of how members are feeling. Like if you, again, have like a 40-person meeting and you're just trying to see like, hey, how's everyone doing right now? It might not be easy to have everyone turn on the mics and be like, I'm okay, or can we take a break? Like you have to use those little reactions, just be like, okay, like if you're feeling good, put the heart. If you think we need a break, put the thumbs up, things like that. And they can also be used to, they can be used if someone has a question and you don't want them to interrupt the meeting by randomly speaking. So if you are obviously presenting like this, you don't want someone just to pop up, be like, oh my goodness, like I don't want to interrupt you, but I have this question. You can also use reactions if there's a little raise hand, or if you want to use the actual reaction button to like put a thumbs up and they'll see it on their screen, be like, okay, yes, you have a question, what's up? So that's just another thing to think about. And then screen sharing. So you can use your PowerPoints and videos for this. Obviously, that's what I'm doing right now is I'm screen sharing. And you can also share whiteboards and collaborate on ideas. I actually didn't know this until I was looking through different things on Zoom, but that's one of the things you can do through the screen sharing is pull up a whiteboard and you can have different people annotate. So if you want multiple people working on the same screen, that's another way you can use that. And then the chat feature, they can be used to for engagement without everyone speaking at once. So if you know, you're giving a presentation, you're like, okay, can you guys give me like your favorite ice cream? You can have people, you know, they don't have to talk out loud. They can put it in the chat what their favorite flavor of ice cream is. It can also be used, again, for questions without interrupting. I know I personally don't like when, you know, if someone would randomly start talking in the middle of me giving a presentation. So it's just easier. So you can take the time to like acknowledge, oh, there's a chat and I'll get back to it in a second. And so the person also doesn't forget their question, because I know a lot of times I have questions and I don't remember them when it comes time to actually ask questions. So that's also something nice to have. And again, members can privately chat each other. So if that's something that people are interested in, that's also something you can do. But I want you right now to pause and think about why these things might be important for your organization. How can you use each of these features individually? How can they be used for your organization specifically? And why should you care? Like, why does it matter about using breakout rooms or reactions or screen sharing? So I just want you to take a minute or two, maybe jot down some ideas, but yeah, pause this video and just think a bit on Zoom and how you can use it specifically for your organization. And then, so Webex is very similar to Zoom. I'm sure all of you have probably used that one too. I used it a lot more last year than this year. I think all of my professors are using Zoom this year. So Webex is, again, just like Zoom, and they have very similar features. So I won't go much into it, but again, I'm going to ask you after I talk about Webex to kind of pause this and reflect. So breakout sessions, basically just like breakout rooms. It's easier for, again, members to get to know each other more personally. You can work on small tasks together, send people into a waiting room. So basically it's the same thing as Zoom's breakout rooms. Whiteboard, again, It's different than screen sharing because you can also screen share, but I'm pretty sure they have a different section where you can just pull up a whiteboard and students can all annotate and work on ideas together. So it's not just the presenter. And then a welcome message. I think this is super cool. I found it when I was looking through Webex the other day, seeing what kind of features they have. But you can have a welcome message pop up before members come into the meeting. So if you have like a surprise or something, like, hey, like come in to this meeting, like with your screens off and your audio off, like we're in the middle of presenting, like if you come late or something like that. So it's just, I think that would be nice to have in the middle of, if you join in the middle of a meeting, if, you know, someone is supposed to join a presentation at 9:30, but the presenter at 9 isn't done yet. So it's just nice to have. So again, I'm gonna ask you to pause and jot down some notes on different ways you think your organization can use Webex and why it's important and why should you care? Why is it important to think about these things when you have these virtual meetings? How can you use these to your advantage right now? And then just some other small tips. So icebreakers. I think icebreakers are great. If you notice, I had to skip those at the beginning. But I personally really enjoy icebreakers. It helps sets the mood for the rest of the meeting and it gets people awake. I know sometimes I find myself nodding off in the middle of class, but like if, you know, you took breaks or even just an icebreaker at the beginning, it's much more energizing and it makes me go in and be like, okay, I'm ready for this meeting. You can also check in on people because a lot of days I'm sitting at my screen all day taking classes. And if I go to a meeting late at, you know, 9 p.m., you might want to check in on your people in your organization. Like, how is everyone doing? Like, how was everyone's day? It's just nice to kind of set that tone and like understand that we're all people and that you care about each other because, I mean, hopefully you do. And so, and then cameras. Again, do you want the cameras on or off? I personally think it'd be best to have cameras on. Like if I was hosting a meeting, I'd ask everyone if they're welcome, well, they're free and willing to turn on their cameras, just because it helps people stay more engaged. I know at least when my camera's on, I'm paying more attention to the meeting itself because I don't want to look silly when I'm like, you know, either nodding off or like they can see I'm on my phone because I'm looking down. You don't look down on your computer. So. And then a PowerPoint. I personally really like having PowerPoints in front of me just to keep it more engaging. No one just wants to look at my face the entire time. So it's nice to have something to refer to, or even if it's just a picture, just something to give people to look at, reference to. And so you're just not talking at people. And then I just suggest you don't have meetings run longer than they have to. No one likes sitting at a computer for a really long time. I know I don't. Like I can barely sit through my hour and 15-minute classes without getting antsy. So I suggest don't keep it to 2 hours or less, an hour or less. And if it's going to be over an hour, the next one, take breaks. I know it's nice if my class stops in the middle, is like, okay, we're going to take this time to talk about these questions and people can talk and it's just not the teacher lecturing. So that's nice, at least, and gets me a little energized and breaks up that monotone like path of a presentation. And then timeliness. Make sure you send out those Zoom links, Webex links, at least 30 minutes before your presentation. You don't want to have to send your meeting link like 3 minutes before the meeting starts. Everyone's gonna be scrambling trying to find it. Like I know that's happened to me a couple times. I'm like, where is this link? I can't find it. I can't join this presentation. They're like, oh, we sent it out like 10 minutes before the meeting. Like make sure you're on top of that because I know I hate scrambling for it and like having to text people like, hey, where is this link? So just make sure you're on top of those things. And again, I'm gonna ask you to pause this, think about these different things. What are some other ways you can think of right now that you might have other tips and how much you might use your tips during your presentations or your student organization meetings. So again, this is just, you know, last couple questions, some things to think about. So just think about like, how are your organizations feeling about virtual meetings? Are you still meeting this semester? Are you completely off the grid? Like, how is your organization coping at this time? And then, are there any tips you think everyone should know on campus? Is there something you're doing that you think is phenomenal and you want other people to know and help other people? And then if you have questions for me, you can email the Marvin Center and we can totally clear that up. Or if you have any tips, you can definitely email the leadership email or look us up on the BDSC website to find our email and share those tips with us. Ask us those questions. You know, we're all here, all trying to find a way to get through our virtual meetings. So yeah, it'd be nice if people, you know, if you had other tips. And then lastly, there's more sessions. So this week wasn't the only week for these pandemic series. So this coming Wednesday, oh no, that was yesterday. Never mind. Monday and Wednesday, we're having inclusive Zoom practices at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And then Tuesday and Thursday, we're doing recruiting / engaging new members at 10 and 4. So if you want to watch me again, I'm going to be presenting on Tuesday at 4. But that is all I have for now. Thank you all for watching this video. No, it was great being able to share my ideas. So if you have any questions, any ideas you'd like to share with Marvin Center, please look us up on BDSU's website. And have a great rest of your Thursday. I almost said Monday. This is not Monday. Have a good day.